Hello, we're live. Good evening. Good evening this Monday evening, this November the 17th. Well, I suppose it's early morning, November the 17th, if we want to be real accurate with it. But as you can see from the title of this broadcast, the question tonight is, should Thanksgiving be canceled? As we're hearing across the nation from many politicians urging, don't do it. No, cancel it. Don't spread holiday cheer. Don't come together as a family with your loved ones, with your friends, and circle around that Thanksgiving table. Don't do it. What are your thoughts on this, Max?
Well, Thanksgiving is bad.
That's very interesting. Tell me more.
It used to be an okay holiday, but now it's a bad holiday.
Bad holidays. Why is it bad?
Well, because I think at this point, families are bad.
Families are bad. Okay. That is some very.
Well, I mean, there's reasons why families are bad.
What are those
They're
reasons?
bad because when families get together, it makes COVID.
Is that how COVID gets made?
Yes. Whenever you have more than a few people getting together at any given time, that's what basically makes COVID.
That's a super spreader.
Yeah, it's an automatic super spreader, and you're pretty much guaranteed that someone there is going to, have the COVID. So that's going to mean that if a family gets together and it's more than, one or two people, there's probably a 99% chance that people are going to get COVID.
Wow.
And even if someone's going to be bringing it.
What if? Is it enough to get COVID tests before the event? Is that enough?
Well, I think that could be an option, but how many families are actually going to ask other family members or even require them to get the test? And
of course, know.
There's going to be a crazy uncle or, an annoying young nephew that's not going to get the test, have asymptomatic COVID, or just think they have a little cough. And then next thing you know, grandpa's dead. And you killed grandpa because you brought the COVID to Thanksgiving.
Well, maybe just don't have grandpa at Thanksgiving. Only the young folk are allowed.
Oh, young people's Thanksgivings only. So no parents, no mom and dad.
If they're over 70, then maybe not.
Well, I mean, just don't have to be over 70 to be dying of COVID. There's plenty of young people that die of COVID.
Well, there's people of all ages that have died of COVID, but we're talking statistics here.
Well, statistically, I mean, no one's going to die of COVID. Except randomly people, or you might know, do die of COVID.
Okay. So I believe that, this is my informed opinion that I'm going to be sharing with all y'all's tonight on this question of Thanksgiving and COVID. I believe that Thanksgiving should not be canceled. However, I also believe that Thanksgiving dinner should be a more limited gathering. Maybe you don't have the whole family together. Maybe you just have a few people, and maybe you can kind of, zoom in the rest of them so you have little groups all together. Because I think that we still need to live life. I think that we still need to have holidays and find a way to do that. And there's a middle road. I don't think it should be either or. If we cancel Thanksgiving and say to hell with it, then what's the point of living? What's the point of this fucking year?
Well, this year was a wasted year, and this is purgatory for everyone. And since we've already canceled everything else, then I feel that we should just go ahead and cancel Thanksgiving and Christmas. So it should just be the year that everyone goes.
What if this is the last year you're alive?
Holiday? Well, then it's probably maybe the worst year that you've ever known. Maybe not.
What if this is the last opportunity for you to have Thanksgiving, to have Christmas?
Well, in that case,
the bus could be coming at any moment.
That's true. The bus could be coming. So, I mean, maybe we should always be living life. But see, that's what all the young people say, that that do all their partying, they say YOLO, and then they get the COVID, and for some of them, it is their last year.
But I
when it
don't
didn't have to
believe
be.
in that. I believe in the middle road. I believe in find a way to live, but also be responsible. But I don't believe in completely depriving yourself of everything and just staying in a fucking sealed room all year. I think that's ridiculous. What the fuck is the point of that? Just end it now. You know? But do you think you should go to a house party with a bunch of fucking kids? No. Fuck you if you do that.
Yeah, it's not very nice for the rest of us if you do that. But I mean, I think it's nice to do a limited Thanksgiving. But how do you determine who should be there? Do they
Well,
have
that's
to get
tricky.
COVID tests?
That's
If it's
tricky.
just you and your parents, well then fine. Maybe you just give COVID to your parents, or maybe they give it to you. I mean, I suppose if you both got tests like the day before Thanksgiving and got your results, then maybe you're probably safe and you probably wouldn't have it. Or then what do you do? Do you just go and sit outside like 10 feet away from them with masks on, and then just like take your mask down and eat a bite of turkey, and then really quickly put it back because you don't want to kill your mom and dad because you might have COVID? I mean, it's just like at that point, why even go to Thanksgiving? Why not just do a Zoom Thanksgiving if you can't even really interact with them?
Well, there's going to be risk that you're going to have. Every time you go to the fucking grocery store, you're taking a risk. Every time that you pick up food, every time you walk out your damn door, you're
That's
taking
true.
a risk. So is this really any different? And again, there's a such thing as calculated risk, right? That doesn't mean there's zero risk, but it means you're weighing the costs. You're doing cost benefit analysis. And that's the important thing, because I think in this year, especially when we're dealing with holidays, right, that are a major part of people's traditions and family traditions and everything like that, you're willing to accept somewhat of a risk for the benefit of being able to have that family experience. And I think that's okay. I think that it's not about making the risk to zero, because you can't do that at all, no matter what.
No, we can never have zero risk. But I don't know. What is your problem?
You're being really annoying with that.
What? I just have to cut a few
It's so
nails.
fucking annoying.
And what better time to cut nails than during a
Ugh.
podcast?
It's really irritating me.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that you're irritated by the cutting.
You're doing it
of a
in
few
the bed.
nails. Well, I mean, I'm collecting them.
Pretty fucking sick.
They're just nails. They're not even toenails. And I've got a
Whatever.
little pile, and I'm going to throw them out.
Oh, they're flying everywhere.
Well, I'm going to find them, okay? When you cut the cat's nails, they go flying, and you don't always get them.
I don't cut them on the bed.
And those are poo nails.
Who?
These are not poo nails.
Oh, maybe they are. I don't know.
Well, I know I don't finger my butthole. So.
Do you like wipe your butthole?
I mean, yeah, but I wash.
Mm.
And actually, I have a hose.
Oh,
so
right. You have a hose.
I don't have to get poop on my hands at all.
Do you boot
ever.
scoot?
No, but Big Kitty does.
He does.
I mean, look, we want to talk about COVID and Thanksgiving and how it's all horrible.
Yeah.
But
you're doing annoying things.
I guess that after you talk about that, then you can start talking about Big Kitty boot scooting.
So, has anybody ever heard of dingle striping? Do you want to explain what dingle striping?
Well, I never heard of dingle striping before.
Dingle
striping.
striping.
You invented that word and taught me about dingle.
Dingle stripe, and it's exactly as what you would think. It's when you hunker down and stripe your dingles on the floor, or the blanket, or the rug, or whatever it may be.
Right.
You stripe in your dingle.
And you got to do that because you have a poopy asshole.
Yes.
And the only way to fix that is to just wipe it on the nice
booty scooty dingle stripe.
Yeah, or the freaking bed.
Has
blanket.
anybody heard of cats doing that? Is the question. Because our big tomcat here does it.
Well, he has some sort of problem, and he really lately he's been doing a little bit of the dingle striping, and it's kind of annoying because you see him and he just sits down, and then all of a sudden he starts scooting, and then you look and there's a fucking stain.
There's a little stripe, a little dingle stripe.
It's disgusting. And
But it's like it's not his fault. He's got a poopy butthole and he doesn't have thumbs to wipe it with toilet paper.
no, but we got to take him in so we can figure out
Say,
why
hello,
this is
doctor.
happening.
My cat has a poopy butthole. Can you please help?
Well, I told you that he's having a little bit softer poo than normal, and that's why he's having the dingle issue in the first place. Yeah, our other cat, Max, he has a nice hard poop, and he doesn't have any dingle striping issues because he doesn't have fucking, nasty poo water on his butt to wipe.
Horrible.
But
Just
the
horrible.
big cat does, and it's sick. So if you have this problem, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to hear about it.
It's really funny to watch it until you realize what's happening.
Yeah, and then you look and there's actually a dingle that's been striped.
dingle. Your dingle kitty.
Well, anyway. So, let's see. We got any viewers? Oh, darn, it's still 0. Oh well. Yeah, so I'd say, comment and let us know if you're going home for Thanksgiving or if you're not, or if you care about the COVID, or you're over it, or you're ready to take your vaccine, or you
When should
don't
those be
trust it.
available?
Well,
Is there a timeline for that?
I mean, they say probably
I
sometime.
know it's a rough timeline.
Sometime, early next year, but
Like January, February. What does early mean?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends on the FDA and when they really want to start like rolling it out and how fast some of these manufacturers.
Well,
can
I'm sure they're
actually
making it a
produce-
priority above all
produce
other
a
shit that they're
dosage.
trying to develop.
Yeah, but we all know that it's not really safe, and we won't really know how long it takes for it to get safe to really see a 5-year study on something like that. And who knows? Everybody could get cured of their COVID or not. Prevent it from happening for a couple months, and then decide or realize that.
Or we just
they're
start
infertile.
taking Regeneron.
Well, we could take our antibody cocktails and get stimulated on that. That is an option. That is not available yet. Regeneron.
Doesn't that seem
maybe.
safer than a vaccine where you're injecting yourself with some COVID?
I mean, I don't think that's the issue.
I don't
It's
know.
just, are you going to become infertile after your vaccine, or are you going to? Is your spine going to melt, or are you going to?
Your spine won't melt.
Are you going to?
They've already given it to some
forget
people.
who you
There's
are.
already the Chinese military is all vaccinated.
Well, that's what they say, and that's a different vaccine. That's not the Pfizer vaccine that is sort of on deck right now. And there's other candidates. We have a friend of ours that works for a pharmaceutical company, a big one, and pretty much all of them have many candidates. And it's just going to be, who gets to market first, and the market can handle a bunch of them. So consumers may have a choice in what vaccine they get.
Interesting.
But it'll be gambling because there's no long-term studies, so no one will really know how safe it is.
Well, here's the thing, though. If the choice is to possibly actually literally get COVID or get a vaccine, I mean, either way, you're taking a risk again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there may be a time in which societies just won't allow you to be a member of society unless
you can't go to school without certain vaccinations.
Unless you get your vaccine.
Like mumps and measles and bullshit.
Yeah, and rubella.
Yeah.
Like that, get your MMR, tetanus shots, boosters, things like that. But yeah, we may just be at a point where you just cannot go to like a restaurant or anywhere without showing your card and showing your your digital ID that you've gotten your vaccination, and then you're scanned, and then you can go in. We may get to that point.
We may. I don't think it'll be like that, because if you think about like what we're vaccinated for now, it's not like that. It's like that for like schools and camps and like if you work in a hospital and shit like that, but it's not for like going to the fucking grocery store.
The problem is you can kill grandma going to the grocery store.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not how vaccines fucking work, okay? Vaccines, you don't have to be vaccinated to like be in a community. You do to participate in certain things if you're a healthcare worker.
Well, I think COVID's going to change all that, and the COVID vaccine is going to change all that. And you're either going to be a member of society and have your vaccination, or you're going to be an unperson and have to go live in your ghetto somewhere. An unperson because you rejected the vaccine, and then now you have to be removed from society, polite society.
And how are they going to track all this shit?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you have to get your chip.
Yeah.
Or maybe you get a card, or maybe you get, get your mark of the beast. You get your barcode, or maybe you get nothing, and maybe you just get a vaccination and no one cares, and you're just on
I
your
think it's
own
more like
honor
that.
to not be a
And
dick
but there are
and
sometimes where you're going to
get
have to show the
vaccinated.
documentation that you've gotten it,
Well, I
like
think
attending school.
travel, like you're not going to be
Yeah,
allowed to get on planes or maybe leave the country
you'll
unless
need your medical records.
you got your medical records ready. So yeah, that's the thing. Got to be prepared. Well, now I have successfully cut all my nails, and they've never looked
That's
better.
lovely. I need to cut Nico's nails and Max's.
Yeah, they were calling you, weren't they, earlier
I
tonight?
have to find the nail trimmer.
I know where it is.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
You've seen
Saw
it?
it the other day. Yeah,
I saw it the other day too, but I don't remember where.
it's in the cabinet.
Oh.
I put it away.
Oh.
You do not.
Well, that is fascinating.
Well, what else do we have to talk about that's an important topic today?
You know, there's Zoom Thanksgivings.
Yeah, I'm going to one. My
Mhm.
family's having a Zoom.
Is it going to be
Thanksgiving.
on Thanksgiving?
Yes, earlier in the day at 11 a.m.
Earlier. Okay.
So you
perfect.
get up, roll out of bed, and have that full family Thanksgiving.
Here's a question. Now, does your family do Thanksgiving lunch or Thanksgiving dinner? Because some people have Thanksgiving dinner at like noon, and then some people have it at like a normal dinner time. And I always thought that was weird. Like, why would you have Thanksgiving dinner at like fucking lunchtime? Like, what the fuck is that?
Right. Well, I think some people need to have Thanksgiving for breakfast.
They do.
You got to get up in the morning at maybe 6, 7 a.m. You got to get that turkey going. You got to get those mashed potatoes, get that stuffing going, get those yams going. And, when other people are thinking about having a glass of orange juice and maybe some eggs and toast or a bowl of cereal, you're sitting down to a 4,000 calorie meal.
Like,
and
you're
get the
just
day
going to be
started
hungry
right.
again later on.
That's what I've always said. People that do like an 11 o'clock Thanksgiving or something.
Stupid.
So you do that, and then I guess you just go right to bed, right? Because you're probably
No, you know what some people do?
years old.
They'll have like leftovers later on again. They'll have like a
they have a second
leftover Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. So I'm not even sure what people in my family are doing, if they're actually going to be eating or if they're just getting together.
But growing up, what time of day did you have the big meal?
We had it at a normal time. We had it
like
maybe
6 o'clock.
5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that's the right way to do it.
Oh, did your family do it?
It's like a 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a dinner, but a lot of families believe that it should be a late lunch or an afternoon.
I know
thing.
it's not uncommon, and I just found that strange.
Yeah, I've always found it odd too. I think it goes back to some weird puritanical times, or maybe like 1950s, maybe when people had dinners at like 3
supper.
o'clock.
It's called supper, right?
Right. They didn't have lunches; they had supper, and then dinner.
Sup.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Like
that. The traditions that. So then 11 o'clock. So they, so then that for them would be 1 o'clock. So that's pretty fucking early.
Yeah, they may be eating then. They may be sitting down to a 10-course Thanksgiving. I don't know.
Or actually, no, 2 o'clock in the East Coast.
Yeah, well, if the East Coast people, yes.
Interesting. You would think it'd be later. You would just think.
Well, I think no, people got other stuff to do.
Who's got anything else to do on Thanksgiving?
They have their own private family Thanksgiving. That's the actual local Thanksgiving.
Oh, so what is the Zoom one going to be? Nobody's going to be eating anything.
Well, I don't think they're going to be eating. No,
it's just like a chat, a Thanksgiving
I
chat.
hope it's a chat because I'm not eating anything. Are we eating a turkey at 11 a.m.?
Fuck no.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Turkey's at 6.
Right, a normal time. So, yeah.
I'm making the pumpkin pie.
Yeah, we're going to make a pumpkin pie.
I already had a trial run.
Right. And I ate a huge slice tonight.
I had one as well. It was delicious. But I'm going to go with the Libby's pumpkin next time.
You don't want to do organic, huh?
No, you're right. There's just something different about it.
It doesn't taste as good. I don't know why. But it's just a different flavor. That Libby's, they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Chemical pumpkin.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, how do we get some viewers?
don't know, man. Maybe we should offer money and shit.
Some people do. They say donate. They say, "Come on now and pick a number, and we'll give you a
Right.
prize."
A giveaway.
We got what do we got here? Oh,
A giveaway. I'll
Okay,
give you
all right. We got some giveaways.
this old dirty sock.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got some old dirty socks. We got cat poop.
Yeah.
Litter. We got clumps of hair from the shower drain. If anyone's interested, please like and subscribe to enter into the chance to get a giveaway for one of those.
We've got a lot of
nice
really great
prizes.
shit. I'm just waiting.
Yes.
Maybe
yes,
some old
we
hand
do.
cream.
Yeah, we have some empties, as they're called, right? Empties from your skincare.
Yeah. No.
I've got some recycling you could maybe get a nickel or a dime for if you take it to your local place.
Well, you already gave the cat litter to the Goodwill, so.
Yes, I did. I took
Explain
nice.
that
What was that called again? That stuff.
I don't know.
What's the system?
I don't remember.
Litter kit? No, what is it?
It was been too long.
It's like 2 days ago. I guess that's gone now. Anyway, there's just some specialized litter that's concrete pipes for a cat system that sort of worked until one of our cats peed on the floor because he didn't like it.
No, that's not what happened.
Well, yeah, it is.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh.
Max didn't like the pipes at some point.
It was too small for Big Kitty, and he kept stepping in his poop.
Yes, that was one issue, but we got rid of it because Max refused to use it.
Oh yeah, he stopped liking it. That's true. Yeah, so there were many issues.
Wouldn't use it anymore, and it was an interesting system, but not for every cat, and our cat's just not. And then
it was actually kind of sick.
The thing got all funky inside, like where the pee is supposed to like drain through onto pee pads, and
anyway, we had extra bags of litter.
I had some extra of this specialized litter, and I said, "What better thing to do with it than give it to the Goodwill?"
And I said, "Why the fuck do they want that?"
And I said, "Because it's unused. It's in its bag,
and it's for a special type of litter system that nobody has.
There's probably someone out there that does have that system and is going to be really happy to get some free new concrete pipes to put on there as their litter."
That's deranged.
Why are you picking?
Mitch.
Well, that's weird.
Socks are dirty.
Yeah, so Goodwill, and that's the thing. Now, Goodwills you can't always donate to. That's a new COVID thing. We tried to go and they wouldn't take our donation, so we had to leave it out by a truck.
Well, because you have to have appointments.
Take anymore. Yeah, you have to have appointments now for donating, which
because they don't want like COVID and shit.
No, they don't. Because you must assume that everyone's donation has COVID. That's what I would at least.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. I don't know that I'd buy Goodwill stuff right now.
Well, the thing is, do you go to Goodwill to get COVID or give COVID?
I suppose it could be either, right?
Yeah, I think, well, you were saying that if we were to go donate, we would donate our goods, and in return, COVID would be donated to us.
Yes.
By going to the Goodwill. So
yes,
that could be a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I think that you want to say anything else about COVID and the holidays?
Well, the holidays are canceled. If you live in one of the states where everything's bad, which is like half the states, then I don't know. Maybe go to Thanksgiving, maybe go to Christmas, maybe don't. But if you do, then don't come visit us because you probably have to go.
The other thing too is like there's many states that have quarantine like rules where it's like if you're crossing the state line, you have to quarantine for a certain amount of time. So it's like, how the fuck is that going to work if you were going to visit relatives in other states? You know, like fuck that.
Yeah, you got to visit for 2 weeks now. So you just come in their home and immediately start your quarantine.
And like, you can quarantine wherever, or like, how do they enforce that? I have so many questions. How do they know somebody who's maybe driving across state line?
There's a man that comes to your house and checks and knocks on your door and says, "Hi, have you recently traveled? Are you in quarantine?" And then he inspects.
No, he doesn't.
It's called the COVID man. He's coming to your house this Thanksgiving.
All right. Well, we hope everybody has a happy, safe, COVID-free Thanksgiving. However y'all are going to spend it, I hope you spend it in one way or another. You know, it should be celebrated somehow, some way. You know, it is one of the quintessential American holidays. But I also hope you all stay safe and spread some holiday cheer.
Stay safe. Goodbye.